G'day again, YouTube. Just checking in for our start of week live stream. Now, this is coming at you a little bit later than what we had normally scheduled, partly because I woke up this morning, checked the volume, and it's still very, very low on our EVZ, so thought, no point, let's do it at a more comfortable time. So here we are. Before we get started, of course, our disclosure, don't follow anything we're doing. We don't take any liability. We don't give personal financial advice. So that's it out there. First things first, our trading game results. Now, Benjamino still hasn't popped up back on our leaderboard. So if he does tune into this live stream or sees something, do invite your friends, Benny. We miss you on the leaderboard. I don't know where you are. I don't know if you've hit reset, actually. I haven't even talked to you about it. But if you are on there, we miss you. I am licking at the $60,000 mark, hoping that a couple of trades this week get me over the line. Although, who knows what's going to happen. I'm trading gold and silver in the trading game. Anyone that wants to check out the trading game, check out the links below. Jump on, become part of our little trading group. Okay, so that's that. Now, we want to go over to the EVZ chart here because we're getting no volume. So it's at 6.88, and really my thoughts are that if we're not above the 8.0 here, and this is part of the No Nonsense Forex philosophy. Anyone that wants to check that out, please check the links below as well. So what I'm following here, anything that I'm putting at about 7.5, just don't worry about it. I know that all of this back here was well below. I really don't know how people were going through this time. Like, they must have an unbelievable algorithm. I'm still going through mine. And I thought, well, while we've got low volume, why not get onto testing? So I've set up a couple of test batches here because we're not really trading. I'd love to get I'm still searching for a decent algorithm, and I'm going to start with the live streams, just testing some of the stock standard ones in this NNFX algo tester. Now, I know on the forum thingy that the No Nonsense Forex guys do. God, I forgot the name of it. The Discord. Yeah, on the Discord, this can get a bit of hate. I've really enjoyed it. I like it. These are my 8 that I'm testing across. I know that there's 5 that you're meant to test across with it, but these are the 8 pairs that I'm actually testing across. And what I want to do is I'm happy to go through this with you. And I'm happy to share my results because this is the way I'm doing it. I'm going to go through all of the default indicators that are thrown in with this algorithm tester. So when you go into expert properties here and we click down on our main confirmation indicator, we've got all of these to go through, which is cool. And I did a test on the ASH, so the absolute strength histogram. So I'm going to do one on the absolute strength oscillator and the SSL. I forgot what the SSL stands for, but anyway, we're going to go through those. And I'm happy to collate all that data. This is the the range that I'm using. So I'm using the last 2 years data. Now, I know that the volume doesn't really, especially on the EVZ, you wouldn't be trading. Like, not really. I know that VP said that when the volume is really low, he starts to cut his risk exposure. But this is crazy. So if you were really waiting for a period where we were looking at some consistent volume, and this is always around 6 here. If we keep coming back. Like the volume's just not there. The graph's even disappeared now. It's really volatile here. He said that he's trading when it's at 8.0, and crazy because I always come back, and you can see where 6.88 is. Like here on this line is where we start to get some volatility to be able to trade. So the last 3 years are really, really hard. So I'm figuring the last two, if you've got an indicator combo that works through the last two, then giddy up to really put it to the test. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to test across these 8 pairs. We're going to go through these indicators. So my main indicator this week, we're going to use the ASO and the SLL. And we're just going to run tests. So let's go with our first one. We run a test. This is all stock standard, so I don't need to put in any special inputs or anything like this. So we can see that the US dollar, Canadian dollar, we had a minus total net profit, $2,375. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm just putting this all in under the ASO, US dollar, Canadian. And I'm just going to paste it in here. I'll word wrap that. And you can see this all coming together. So let's go through and see how this indicator stacks up. Anyone's got a problem with the way that I'm doing this, by all means, come on, tell me a better way. I know that going through one by one is probably a little bit more pure, but holy hell is it spirit breaking. Yeah, it teaches you patience and all that kind of stuff, but let's be really crazy realistic here. So another negative result on this, and that one was the Canadian CHF. Paste this in here. Now I've got to go back on the Discord and actually see what I'm looking for as far as a main indicator, like what kind of return that we're looking at, like a consistent return. So pound CHF, yeah, let's go. Now I don't do the visual only because this is a hell of a lot quicker. So this one was a total net profit of 2028. So we've probably nullified one of those losses that we've had, because they've all been around 2,000, 3,000. So it looks like with the ASO, we're down probably 3,000 across this time. We can make a tally at the end of this if we want. Let's keep going with this. So Euro GBP. Another negative, so another negative 1,500. Euro GBP. I do like keeping these things on Google, just easier to access everywhere for me. And if I want to share it with anyone, they want to access this data, by all means, let me know. Happy to share it all out on this search. So I reckon we're down about $4,000 at the moment. Euro USD. Another 500 loss. If anyone else is using CMC Markets as their agent for MT4, Let me know how you access more currency pairs too. It's something that I've got to go and check out. So let's just say we're down $5,000, which is about half of our account. We're trading on a $10,000 account. Okay, Aussie New Zealand. Alright, so another 751 loss. So we're really smashing our account here on the ASO default. I know that you've got to play with these indicators. I just wanted to get some data to show you guys on just the default indicators, just so I'm actually checking that out. You can start somewhere, so why not go through what's supplied and go through it on default. Cool. Canadian. Get a return on that. Oh, another 2,000. So we've almost killed our account. Fun times with this one. Just on as a default oscillator. So I've definitely had other indicators that I've tested that have been much better. Right. Aussie CHF. Now I've just got a message from Benjamino telling me that he's out of the town, so I hope you're having a productive time over there, Benjamino. And this one minus 170 again on the Aussie Swiss. So that's our last one. Paste. Right, so I think all up we almost killed our account with the ASO on default. Jeez, pretty dire. Okay, so let's go to the SSL. Switch this up. Oh, where are we? Navigate around. So we're going to change this over to the SSL. Just all on default at the moment. Let's go back to the start. US Canadian. Oh, minus only 1,400 this time. That's a better start. Even though it's still in the negative. Paste that in. Okay. Now Canadian CAD Swiss. Another 1,000 loss, and I think both of them last time were 2,000 losses, so this has kind of halved our exposure. We'll see if the wins are only halved as well. So I'm guessing it's getting us in probably only half the time. I'd have to go back and actually look at the results. So pound Swiss. Oh, it's actually nice. 1,900. So we might only be down like 1,000 now. And you can see that these pound Swiss and generally the even the Euro pound and stuff like that, the Aussie New Zealand, they seem to be quite fairly rewarding currencies, even if you don't want to think of it that way. Because you do want something that performs across all currencies, which is absolutely fair. They can all change their characteristics whenever. But funny. I suppose you don't want to be one-dimensional. So 500 loss on the Euro pound. Are there Euro or USD? Another 1,000 loss. Okay, now onto our Aussie pairs. Aussie CAD, I think's first. Yes. Aussie CAD. 1,500 down there, so really starting to rack up the losses now. Oop, okay. The Swissy with the Aussie. Oh, 1,600. Jeez. Aussie New Zealand, our last one for this. Minus 800, yeah, so I think we are up down 5-6 grand. Still no good. Not for these little periods on these default stock indicators that have been supplied. So I'm going to go through all of these just for the last period, just to grab some data. I mean, why not? They're all included. Don't know if all of them will work as a C1. I don't know if any will work as a C1, but I'll be interested. So I may do a quick test tomorrow on the Arun up and down. I'm going to go through these and then probably at the end of the week show you which ones I actually went through, how far down the list, and we can talk about which ones were, if any were any good or not. So stay tuned. Anyone that's got any input, by all means jump in. We'll see you at the end of week live stream on Saturday morning. Cheers.